Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to run you through a really quick universal brow routine. This is a type of way for filling in your brows that will give you a very voluminous, full, feathery look that's really popular right now. Pretty much anyone can do this look. That's why it's so universal. I do it on myself. I do it on clients. It's also not complicated at all. You need 3 products and it's very simple steps. Now, I have seen your comments for those of you who say I've overplucked my brows. I don't have brow hairs to work with. I'm going to do a separate video on that. However, this routine will still work perfectly fine for those of you who really have sparse brows, and I'll kind of walk you through and guide you through and give you tips as we go. So what you're going to need is brow powder and brow wax. I'm using just this one from Sephora. It's a little kit I've had for over a year now. You don't need anything fancy, just a little bit of brow wax and a little bit of brow powder that obviously matches the color of your brow hairs. I moved a little bit closer so you could see what's going on here. Obviously you need a brow brush. I use the Sephora Pro Brow Brush, and just really something with a spoolie on the end will work. That way you can shape and work your brows easily. Lastly, you just need some type of brow gel. I prefer using a fibrous brow gel. My favorite is Glossier Boy Brow. In my opinion, there is nothing better on the market. It really does transform the brows and give them that full feathery look. But if you do have fuller brows already, you can use a clear brow gel. Benefit also makes some really good ones. This is just my preference. So let's go ahead and start. I start out by taking my brow wax. So got my brow wax in my little palette here. I take the end of the spoolie, and what I do is I just use a little bit of wax and I push my brows upwards. This is where, if you are familiar with the soap technique, you can definitely do this. And basically, it's just going to hold your brows in this kind of pushed up, full voluminous shape. So now that I have my brow hairs pushed up, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to define the underlying part of my brow. So you can see on my brows, I am a little sparse in this area, and basically I'm just going to fill in the areas that are lacking, and I'm also going to define just that complete underlining part of my brow. I'm not going to define the top because then that's when you're going to get that really over dramatized shape. I'm really just focusing on adding the definition on the bottom part of the brow. So you can see right here, I've just started creating a really natural line on the underlying part of my brow, just basically where the bottom part of my brow will end. And all I'm going to do is trace that through and follow the natural shape of my eyebrow. It's really important to keep a light hand too when you're doing this. If you're pressing super hard, you're also going to get that over dramatized look, and you're not going to have just a really nice, soft, natural bit of definition on the lower part of your brow. Okay, so already we can see what a difference just shaping that bottom part of the brow can do compared to this one and this one. Now all I'm going to do is work on filling in sparse areas. So for me, that's the front of my brow mainly. So I just, again, take a little bit of brow powder and I just push upwards. I don't take my brush and just sweep product through it like this. I just focus on following how I applied that brow gel, and I just keep pushing upward, and already we've just got a little bit more definition in the front. We're filled in the front, and that's all we want. So yeah, this step is really just about filling in the areas where you are naturally sparse and just kind of pushing upward and giving really light, soft definition to those areas that may not have as many hairs. Final step is the best part, and I think it makes the biggest difference, and that's going in with a little bit of your brow gel. So I'm taking my Glossier Boy Brow, and I really like to focus this on the front of the brow. I know that that might be overwhelming for some people. You just have to play around with it and kind of see how much you like. But again, keep a light hand. Don't push really hard and transfer a ton of product into your brow. Just keep a light hand and just make upward strokes. So that's completely it. I think the key points to take away from this are mainly to give definition to the bottom part of the brow as opposed to the top. When you go in and you really define that top portion, it just doesn't look as natural because your brow hairs are naturally stopping there. So when you go in and you add a line, it's almost defining where your brow hairs stop. So just focus on defining the bottom portion of your brow, fill in any sparse areas, and then fibrous brow gel. I mean, it's a game changer. It immediately gives the fullness and that feathery effect. So we're gonna speed up this side, and I'm gonna show you the transformation of it as well. Okay, that's it. I kind of feel silly doing this video because it is so simple, but I know brows have been overcomplicated throughout the past several years, and I just wanted to, give you a way of possibly trying out something that isn't going to take you a ton of time and can give you some really nice, full, voluminous results. So if you have any questions for me, leave them down below as usual. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.